Charles Crawford here, and in this video I want to talk about 5 Google Plus local tips that you can use to optimize your listing and potentially rank higher on Google and get more new patients. Because that's the goal of all this. So let's look at Pat Crawford DDS, and notice you guys have probably seen this before. He is verified, so he's a verified local business, and he has this check mark that shows up. Now, here's some tips. So number 1, add keywords to your business description. So this is the description, and if you notice, I could actually make it longer, but if you look at some of the keywords, I use keywords like Kenosha dentist, cosmetic dentistry, root canals, extractions, fillings, best dentists in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Pat Crawford DDS, Kenosha Dental Clinic. You want to put your keywords in there just to make sure Google knows what you're all about. Then the other thing is to make sure your categories are good. A lot of people these are the categories. A lot of people have the wrong categories, and that's actually hurting them. So that's one thing, is to make sure that your categories are correct, your website's correct, make sure your phone and your address match everywhere. Not just on Google Plus, but actually check other directories like Yelp and Yellow Pages to make sure it's the same. Because if it's not the same, it's going to be confusing, not only for search engines, but for people. So then another trick is to do offers. So right now we have a 20% off tooth whitening offer. Those show up on Google Maps when people see offers, and they show up here. So then another tip is to add people to build a following. So right now 29 people are following Pat Crawford DDS, which is good. The more you get, the better. And then the next tip, number 3, is to leave reviews. So reviews are like the main thing you want, right? You want people to leave quality 5-star reviews, because that's really going to help boost you in the search engines. Because Google's local algorithm is mostly based off, reviews, and putting your keywords in your company name and your categories, all that stuff correct. But reviews are the hardest to get. That's why Google weights them so much. So definitely focus on reviews, and you can do different stuff. One of the best ones is just to ask them while they're at your practice, hey, can you please leave me a review. Some other cool things you can do is give people Starbucks gift cards or send them a letter after they visit you. There's a lot of things you can do. So those are 3. Let's move on to the next one. So the next tip is, if you have multiple business locations, create a Google Plus business page for each location. Now, don't try and create more if you only have one location, because you don't want duplicate listings. But if you actually do have separate physical locations, you should have separate listings for each location. Now, tip number 5 is to add images and video. So notice how this is way more appealing than if this was blank, and if this was blank and there was nothing there. And you can change this background image. So you could make it something cool. So, actually I can show you. By default, it'll make a clickable map. Like this is by default. If you click it, then it goes to Google Maps, which is actually a nice feature. But, you can do whatever you want. So, like you could have a big red arrow that comes to the follow button to increase conversions. There's a bunch of stuff. So, now, another bonus tip is Google authorship. So, you know how I've been talking about notice how his picture shows up. That's Google authorship, and it's very powerful. Now I've been searching a lot for him, so he actually ranks higher, but because I'm searching, Google remembers it. But basically the point is authorship. And in the next video, I'll teach you exactly how to do Google authorship so you can get this photo here. It's very cool. So stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for watching.